Coming up in this episode, Channel 4's viewing figures show excellent promise for Rugby League on terrestrial TV. Angus Crichton gets a pass when it comes to his NRL ban. And Leeds injury ward. It's getting bigger. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to continue seeing more. So, we begin today's episode with the news that Channel 4 have shown some impressive TV fixtures. Well, TV figures. They're the word I was looking for. TV figures from their 10 games that they've had over the 2022 season. It puts Sky to shame in some aspects of these numbers. Whether it was hosted by Australian comedian Adam Hills or Helen Skelton during the 2022 season, with an able body of pundits to call upon, Channel 4 took the Rugby League by storm in the 2022 season. After agreeing a 2-year deal with the broadcasting giants, Top Flight Rugby League was shown live on Channel 4 for the first time ever, and it's safe to say it was a success. With Channel 4 heading into its second season with Rugby League, it's fair to look back its terrestrial figures, what the channel agreed during the Super League season. The first 2 round games that Channel 4 had were Leeds Rhinos versus Warrington Wolves, where Saturday the 12th of February brought in 531,000 viewers to Channel 4, which was followed up by 515,000 for Saints versus Hull at the MKM Stadium, exactly a week later in the same time slot. Warrington and Wakefield was a round 5 fixture, was the next place and time where we saw Rugby League on Channel 4, and that was just under 200,000 channel viewers, which was still a good share of the broadcasters. But Warrington and Wakefield had just been played the week before in the Challenge Cup final, so there was a little bit of fatigue. Despite that, Wakefield won both games as they went through. Round 10 saw Wigan Warriors and Salford Red Devils on a Sunday as the channel changed their viewing day for the first time, and they still got 213,000 viewers for their broadcast. Then in that was a round 10 game, while round 13, 207,000 for Catalans at Hull KR. Then Castleford versus Wigan Warriors saw 302,000 viewers on June the 4th. The penultimate, 5 weeks left of the season, was St Helens versus Castleford, and that was another Sunday game where it was the highest Sunday game audience, to be fair, at 259,000. So looking at those figures, around 200,000 and more is what these stuff of dreams for an audience like Sky Sports would want. The soccer season has started up again in 2022, and September the 10th came around and Huddersfield Giants faced Salford Red Devils in front of 189,000 in what was a game that saw the away side go through to face St Helens in the semi-final, which got 283,000 viewers. That's still very, very good figures. An average of over 450,000 for Salford Red Devils games. A total, not an average. I know what figures I'd be looking at. I'd be wanting Channel 4 to see if they can do that again this year. And it wouldn't surprise me if they do. Just to summarise, from the statistics shown above, it is clear that there was an instant interest in viewing Rugby League and Super League games on Channel 4, with over 500,000 people choosing to watch the game in the opening 2 games, which is fantastic numbers. Though the audiences continue to fluctuate throughout the season, being able to attract almost 300,000 viewers for a semi-final between Salford and St Helens at Knowsley Park. Not Knowsley Road anymore, it's Langtree Park, my apologies, was brilliant considering the game was also broadcast on Sky Sports during that time. The path is rosy if the right audience can be hit and the right time schedules and everything like that. Gone are the days, I think, of Sunday Rugby League being attractive to a TV audience. Kangaroos second rower Angus Crichton is free to play for the Sydney Roosters in the opening round against the Dolphins after being permitted to serve his World Cup suspension during the pre-season campaign. Crichton received a 2-match ban for striking towards Samoa hooker Chanel Harris-Tavita with his elbow in the World Cup final at Old Trafford, but the suspension was halved on appeal. He will avoid missing the Premiership match by serving the 1-match ban in the opening round of the NRL pre-season challenge against the Storm in Geelong on February the 12th. The 26-year-old could play the following weekend at Gosford against Manly and will be available for the historic NRL debut of the Dolphins, who are set to become the Telstra Premiership 17th team next season. Players suspended in the NRL are required to serve their ban in the Premiership fixtures, with the likes of Ryan Matterson for the Eels, Francis Molo, Matt Croker, Tane Milne and Brian Kelly all set to miss the start of the season with their respective clubs. However, Crichton's ban falls under the jurisdiction of International Rugby League, which permits pre-season matches to be included in those suspensions. A clause in the NRL Judiciary Code allows for disciplinary policy of the body which handed down the suspension to be applied, and Crichton has been cleared to serve his ban during the new pre-season competition. During the match, it is noted that he was only given a 10 minutes in the sin bin, so came back on after he served that part of the game, and then was put on report. After Crichton, though, was sent to the sin bin, put on report for striking Harris-Tavita with his raised forearm, Samoa coach Matt Parrish later said referee Ashley Klein should have sent the Australian forward off. However, Crichton insisted he did not mean to strike Harris-Tavita and asked to front the media immediately after Australia's 30 points to 10 win to publicly apologise to the Samoa utility man and explained his actions. I want to talk to you guys because I want to get this message across, and I want to let his family know that I'm genuinely sorry. I want to let the Samoa community know that I have no malice at all, Crichton said. It was just me bracing for a tackle, and it was a freak tackle. As soon as it happened, I spoke to Chanel, and it was honestly just a reaction. I didn't know that he was coming in, and had no malice, not malice at all. Crichton and Harris-Tavita spent time travelling together in Europe after the World Cup, along with injured Samoan utility Tyrone May, Kangaroos halfback Nathan Cleary, whose post this is from Instagram, and forward Patrick Carrigan. Crichton is right of Cleary, while Harris-Tavita is at the bottom of the page. But Crichton continued on that interview after the Rugby League World Cup final, saying, "When I play football, I never try to injure or hurt anyone. I know that I'm a good person and I play the game the way it's meant to be played. Never wish anyone to be injured on the football field like that, especially knockouts. A few of my great mates in Jake Friend and Boyd Cordner had their careers ruined, so I never want to injure anyone on the field." I understand the entire situation. It is just an accident, and Angus Crichton is definitely, well, it feels genuine in his apology and how he is with the players, and doesn't mean to do anything. Explain that. My grievance with all this is that it's a first-class suspension. It happened during a first-class game. Whether it's Super League, Challenge Cup, or even the NRL, they all should be aligned. Pre-season friendlies are just one of those things, but match days is a first class. It's a World Cup final, by the way. It should, fans should be in that sort of importance area. It's a first class match, so the ban should carry over to first class games. I know people like that, like Crichton, will miss out because of that. It's just a mockery when it comes to trial games, which don't actually mean anything. They're just money generators. I know they should do something for the bans so that they all align. Disciplinary should be worldwide and communicated worldwide as well. In this final segment of the video, Leeds Rhinos have had to issue out a medical communication on the 14th of December due to injuries picked up, which includes prop Nikolai Aletsky and outside back Luke Hooley, who have both had operations in the last week. Aletsky and the Rhinos performance team managed a shoulder injury in the latter part of last season following the Super League Grand Final, though consultation with a specialist can confirm the injury may require surgery, but could also recover with rehabilitation in the off-season. Rhinos agreed to Aletsky's wish to play for England at the Home World Cup. Unfortunately, though, subsequent scans and further specialist opinion have now indicated that the prop requires surgery and to heal their injury in full. He will now be sidelined for roughly 12 to 14 weeks due to this. This was made doubly worse when new signing Luke Hooley has also been sidelined for 12 weeks due to an ankle injury suffered in training following what was described as an innocuous trip. He had surgery on Friday, and that has put him out for a big stretch of time. It's never ideal when players have had to have surgery, but we are fortunate on the whole with our group that very few players are in that position ahead of the 2023 season. Understandably, Mick was keen to push himself for England selection for the Home World Cup, and that was his reward for an outstanding season with the Rhinos, head coach Rowan Smith said. Unfortunately, his time away worsened the injury and he has immediately gone to have the operation. It's a long season, and especially when you consider the amount of minutes Mick played last year, it will not do him any harm looking at the bigger picture to have some extra time off the field. Luke rolled his ankle in training, which didn't look serious at the time. However, the scans have revealed an issue. The decision was taken to take a decisive action to make sure he is back on the field as soon as possible, rather than rehab and then make a call. Both players are in the best possible hands with our medical team, and their operations went well with no complications. Hooley took to social media as well, saying, "Gutted is an understatement. Not the start I wanted, but that's rugby league for you. See you all at the start of the season, Rhinos." When it comes to rugby league players, Yorkshire, Lancashire divide is one of those that you are it's a bit tasty that when it comes to the rivalry. Although I am certainly a fan of Nikolai Aletsky. Big forward that puts in big minutes and he's as tough as teak, as the old saying goes. I watched Hooley during the championship season as well, and he was a star, probably the star of the Batley Bulldogs campaign that got all the way to that £1 million game. Possibly even the star of the championship as a whole, but that's going against such players that Lee Leopards had during last season. English-born player, that would get my preference, I'm afraid. Let's see how they do after these operations. Forwards, maybe not so too bothered with the actual injury outcome, as shoulders are part and parcel of the game. Just bang into it, bang into it, bang into it until it stops hurting. Luke Hooley, ankles. He needs the space and the manoeuvrability and the agility that he has to get on the outside. Looking forward to seeing how he was going to do against Super League outside backs as well. Oh well, that's a delay. Good luck to both of them, and hopefully the rehab continues to go well. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking on that notification bell for any updates on new videos that may be coming in the near future. Tell me what your thoughts are on today's episode in the comment section below, but please be respectful. Now I'm a little bit later than normal, but because of sound issues, I had to re-record this episode again. Hey, these things are sent to try us, but hey ho, we're back up and running. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comment section, please be respectful, and ask me any questions on what you want to hear from Rugby League. What you're looking forward for Rugby League in 2023 as well. But in the meantime, I want to thank you all for watching. Please remember to share this video worldwide. End the episode as I always do by wishing you all the very best, so please stay safe. I'll see you in the next episode.